Greatest hits of all time. Gold breakfast. This is gold.
We've got a wedding on in a couple of weeks' time to go to, and also a big, very special dinner party with my in-laws who are celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary next weekend. That is, and my wife basically got to go in black tie for that. And my wife says, "Oh, I've got to get a dress," and she said it 3 times yesterday. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go. So I said to her finally, "You obviously know when you want to go. Just tell me when it is, because that means I've got to have all the kids."
And when is it?
Yeah, it's going to be Sunday, clearly.
I like your wife.
Been talking about the fact that we all stick to cooking the same 7 meals over and over again, despite having loads and loads of recipe books at home. Erica, you really do admit that you're not a great cook. You don't.
I'm really not a good cook at all. I cannot cook anything, hardly anything.
I know that you have made the effort in the past to try and impress the odd man or two.
Yeah, the first time I cooked for someone, I basically pretend.
Pretend?
And cheat and lie.
Right,
which
so
I'm not proud of.
Have you ever bought a takeaway and actually served it up as your own?
Something like that. It was a posh pop and ping with some lovely fish, and it was the first time I was cooking for a chap, and I really liked him, and I really wanted to impress him. So I pretended I'd done it pretty much by the time he got there, and just heated it up at the end, and I pretended that I cooked the whole thing from scratch. And unbeknownst to me, he'd gone through the kitchen bins at some point during the evening and found all the packaging, but he didn't let on to me that he'd done this.
Right.
So all night he was going, "You're such a great cook. I don't know why you don't cook more. You should do this more often." Of course, I was getting more and more carried away, going, "Well, I don't like to show off." The next day, I went down to my car the next morning, and I found that he put all the cardboard boxes underneath the windscreen wiper blades on the windscreen of my car as a little, "I know what you did," I was very embarrassed.
That was almost the first date, was it?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit worrying that bloke's going through your bins on the first date? I don't know if I've had to that doesn't actually spell long-term relationship to me.
No, it didn't, funnily enough.
See, the Prince of Wales has many visitors to Highgrove. Now, there is the official visitors, I'm sure.
Yes.
But many people actually are invited in, mainly people who are very enthusiastic gardeners. They get the opportunity to go and have a look around the wonderful gardens on the home that he's owned for around 30 years or so.
Very nice, too.
And Alan Titchmarsh has done a TV show with him, which I believe was on last night, because I actually flicked into it for a little bit. And His Royal Highness has actually admitted to actually listening to what the actual visitors have to say. Alan Titchmarsh said to him, do you actually like to have a listen? And he said, everything. He does make me laugh, the whole thing. Just picture this. Our future king, to actually eavesdrop on the people as they're being shown around the gardens. He said the only place you can actually hear them is if you're just beneath the windows. And he says, I have done it before, but you have to lie on the floor. So
oh my goodness.
So our future king is lying on the floor listening to what people, Mildred and Derek think of his roses. So.
He's gone up in my estimations. I like that about him. But supposing if they say something unpleasant, then all Prince Charles has to do is stand up and catch them out.
Can you imagine that? That would be like, that would be like a royal flower pot man, wouldn't it? Something like that. Something like that.